How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Dead Space, the remake. This is the PS5 version, and I really don't have much of an intro, but I do want to mention that this is post-commentary. This isn't going to be live commentary. This is a run that I already did, and my reasoning for that, I guess, I'll explain kind of as we go, but we'll have some cutscenes and stuff to sit through. We're playing the game on hard mode, because I kind of wanted to do this playthrough in preparation for the impossible difficulty. And for some reason, this, first loading screen kind of, took a minute. I was convinced that the game crashed on me, but it was just kind of loading everything all at once, because this game is pretty much totally seamless. There's no loading screens unless you die, but I guess more on that later. So yeah, we're playing on hard so that I can play the game on impossible later and have a little bit more experience going into it. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do post-commentary was because I wanted to kind of do this in more of kind of a guide format where I kind of explain how I do certain things as I go. This is not going to be a perfect playthrough by any means, but, I'll shut up for this cutscene.
I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing.
That's her? Nicole?
Yeah. First deferred from her in weeks.
We're 5 minutes out, you still got that thing on repeat. Guess you really miss her.
Fishermer is not a job you turn down, but 6 months apart with only vid calls. It's rough. Easy to say the wrong thing.
I don't blame you. I'd listen to my girlfriend over Hammond reciting security protocols.
Forewarned is forearmed, Miss Daniels.
So you keep saying.
Here we go. Nice clean re-entry. Welcome to Aegis 7.
Imagine 6 months staring at that chunk of rock.
To an independent miner, that's paradise. Aegis 7 is one of the richest finds in CEC history. Some prospecting team set up for life. Now, where is she?
There. Confirming visual contact with USG Ishimura.
What a beauty. Biggest planet cracker in her class, And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it so dark? We should be able to see her running lights.
Yeah. I'll get us into hailing range. Someone's got to be waiting up for us.
Just be careful on the approach. I'm not taking any chances with CEC's pride and joy.
No chances, huh? Is that why you were digging into my personnel files before we left?
You check your file access?
I'm a computer analyst. Comes with the job.
I ran standard CEC background checks, Miss Daniels. If you want to work in the big leagues, you have to play ball.
Sir, we're in hailing range. USG Ishimura. This is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kelly, responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura. Ishimura, do you copy? Come in. This is the USG Kelly.
You ever hear of a full communications black on one of these things?
Never. Come on. Someone pick up the damn phone.
The hell is that?
Sounds like their communication array is busted. Maybe a broken encoder. Daniels and I can handle it in 48 hours, max.
Hey, that gives you plenty of time to catch up with Nicole.
Yeah, I hope so.
Jen, Johnson, take us in.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automated docking. Some code.
I'm losing control.
Fuck! We're off course!
Daniel!
Guidance system override isn't responding.
Shit, we're coming in too hot. It's gonna smash us into the hull.
Check! Aim for that emergency stabilizer. There! The blue light! It might slow us down!
Got it. Drop the flash shield. Everyone brace yourself. Everyone okay?
I'm good.
I'll live. Hey, Johnston. All right?
It's my ankle. Might be broken.
shit, but better than a broken neck. Or worse. Good call on the stabilizer, Isaac.
Gotta always read the manual.
What the fuck's going on with flight control? That guidance system's a death trap.
Better add it to your repair list. Jen, what's our damage?
Comms are down. We lost a port booster. Got a fire in one of the stabilizers and... Singularity core's a mess. Could be worse, but not by much.
Then let's get some help. Johnston, stay with the Kelly. We'll send a medic. Everyone else, with me.
Alright, finally. So the first log, I guess the text log, is immediately to the left there. Those are generally pretty good to collect, even if you don't really care about the lore, because you can also get trophies and achievements for collecting enough of them. If you care about that type of thing. Which I kind of don't, but you know. I'll be collecting as many of these bad boys as I can. If you want to read this, go ahead and pause, because I don't really... I didn't feel like stopping everything to just, like, you know... read it, I suppose, so... yeah, if you want to read it, just pause. But yeah, as you can tell, this game is fucking beautiful, dude. Like, visually, this game is just so good. I was one of those people that didn't think Dead Space really needed a remake, but I'm glad that it got a remake because this game is really good, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, pretty much on this part, nothing to really do except follow these guys in a straight line and go to the security checkpoint and get your rig suit synced up. Pretty standard space engineer operating procedure. I feel like there was something else that I want to talk about, but maybe I'm just going insane.
Rig synced. Collect kinesis and stasis modules from Acting Chief Engineer Jacob Temple. Location? Error. Employee not found.
I can't reach security.
Same for the chief engineer. What is wrong with their comms?
They got some goofed up comms, but alright, yeah, as soon as you get into this room, you got some money on the left, and you got a text log kind of on the left side, sitting on a table or some shit. Pick those bad boys up, lights turn on, and then we can slowly piece together what the hell is going on this busted ass ship.
Someone left in a hurry.
Where's the security detail? Where's anybody?
There's nothing logged. No duty roster. No power to the elevator.
For God's sake. That security console's still working. Isaac, get a damage report. Gun's playing around.
There's something on the floor here. Is that?
Yeah, there's a good old pile of blood on the, or I guess a pool of blood. A pile of blood. But yeah, there's blood on the ground, everything's all wacky. Pretty much the intro is almost the exact same as it was in the original game.
Shit. It's not just comms or the guidance system. Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the tramps.
Could do that kind of damage to a planet cracker.
Okay, we got some power. Ventilation's up. Power to the elevator should be...
Hazardous anomaly detected.
Uh-oh.
Quarantine activated.
Another malfunction?
No. The quarantine systems are all fine.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it.
Hammond?
Take it easy. Daniels, get those elevators running.
There's something in here with us.
Oh, wow, are you okay? Alright, so, as with the Dead Space intro from the original game, pretty much we just do the exact same thing here, where we gotta run the fuck away, because a bunch of necromorphs show up. They start bursting through the vents and chasing us. So, pretty much all you gotta do on this part is run away. Just run in a straight line, get to the elevator, hit that button, and you're good to go. Safety! Good old-fashioned... Alright. Now we're covered in blood. Right at the beginning of the game. Hell yeah, man. You thought you were just gonna clock in for work and have a nice shift, Isaac? Talk to your girlfriend? Hell no, brother. Alright. So, we immediately get our plasma cutter in this room. Plasma cutter is, by and large, the best weapon in the game. It's not only the first weapon, but it is the best. And it's actually pretty easy to beat this entire game using the plasma cutter alone. It's actually, like, really good. And it's probably going to be, like, it's going to end up being my primary weapon, but it's also, I don't know, the main guns that I'm planning on using are the plasma cutter, the force gun, and the pulse rifle, but we'll get to all that later. Anyway, first necromorph encounter is a go. If you've never played a Dead Space game before, how you kill a necromorph is you aim for the limbs. You dismember their various appendages. And it's really that simple for the most part. I don't really go for headshots because headshots are kind of useless. Also, that guy's just being a spooky jerk. He just wanted to get a rise out of us.
Security request retrieved.
It died. We shot that fucker right between the eyes and it didn't die.
Hey, I just got done talking about how headshots are fucking useless. Now this guy's out here like, yep, he's right, you know.
Isaac. Oh my god, Isaac. You made it.
They're everywhere. Shit, is he,
He's gone. Nothing I can do. What the fuck are these things?
The ones I saw, some of them were wearing Ishimura uniforms.
They're the crew? How the hell can they be the crew? Look at them.
We need to get to the bridge. There's 1,000 people on board. Someone will be there.
We can't. The tram system's wrecked. Everything's locked down because of the quarantine.
And you're both repair techs. So how do we do this?
There's a broken tram car blocking the tunnel. It's gridlocked the system. And the data board's burned out. I can't lift the lockdown or call the tram until we get a spare from the maintenance bay. But it's all on Isaac's side of a quarantine.
I'll handle it. Just make sure there's power to the repair systems.
And Isaac,
Yeah?
I'm sure Nicole's okay. She's a doctor, right? She'll do the smart thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she always does. Find somewhere safe. I'll be back soon.
I just love Hammond's logic there. He's like, oh, Nicole's a doctor, right? She's totally equipped to survive a fucking alien infection outbreak. Yeah, you know, that totally makes sense. Thank you, Hammond, for that moral support. Stupid as it was. Anyway, boom, jump scare inbound. It's a dead body. But as I was saying, I do recommend remapping your sprint button to the original OG Dead Space controls, where you would press L1 to sprint. I just feel like it's a little bit better. It lets you move around a bit more precisely when you're sprinting. But anyway, we pick up our stasis module right here. Your stasis module is your absolute best friend in this game. That was always the case in every Dead Space game, but the stasis module is just the best. Use it to slow down enemies and just generally makes your life easier. Also, the power goes out in this hallway, but nothing happens. So don't worry about any surprise necromorph tomfoolery going down. But I do recommend going into this bathroom because there's some loot in here. Just kind of run in here and grab everything you can find, probably some money and some ammo. And also, now that we have the stasis module, there's a little bit of a early game trick that we can do that I'll talk about more when we can actually show it off. But yeah, I cannot stress enough how important the stasis module is. Back in the old Dead Space game, I would usually prioritize upgrading the stasis module like right away. But in this game, they kind of changed the upgrade system a little bit, so it's just, I don't know, different. Anyway, coming into the tram repair room here, pick up our first power node off the wall right there. Make sure you definitely do that. And there's a medium med pack over here too. Make sure you grab those two things along with all this other shit. Generally, it is best to just pick up literally everything you can in this game. Just always go for the loot. All the time.
The autoloader's fried. I gotta a damaged tram car on the tracks, and if the whole system's gridlocked, guess who they're calling? Temple here, sending a stasis module now. What happened to the autoloader? No idea.
Also, it's a good idea to loot this entire room before you start the tram repair puzzle.
Down in the gears where no one could be.
Just because some enemies do in fact show up. Also, take note of the stasis recharge station. Every time you see a stasis charge station, take kind of a mental note of where that bad boy is at. Always good to know where your stasis recharges are at. Especially on the higher difficulties, because like I said, you're going to be using stasis a lot. Go ahead and do that, then this guy shows up. So, yeah, this is the trick I was talking about. It's kind of a neat little early game ammo saving trick, where you can hit an enemy with stasis and then just stomp the living piss and shit out of them and kill them that way without having to use any ammo. It works really well if there's only one necromorph, but if there's more than one, usually it's best to just shoot them. Like on this part, I'm pretty sure another necromorph shows up behind me. Yep, I was right. So it would have been smart for me to just shoot both of them, but, you know, I pulled it off, so whatever. But basically what you end up doing with the old stasis stomp maneuver is, you know, you kill a couple enemies that way, and after a while you just end up with a shitload of plasma cutter ammo, like, just a lot. But yeah, as you complete each step of this puzzle, more necromorphs will show up, so just be ready to kind of camp by that stasis recharge station. Just remember, whenever you got a stasis recharge station, just you can abuse stasis like it's going out of style. Just do it. Unlike in Dead Space 2 and 3, the stasis recharge stations do not have a cooldown. You can just use them as often as you want. Two necromorphs, one comes from each side, so as long as you kill them fast enough and you don't get ganked up on, you're usually good to go. I think actually another one shows up, maybe two. I know that the fight's not over. I know that more show up, and I'm pretty sure at one point I kind of lost track of how many there were, and I got kind of bodied a little bit. When you're playing on hard, it's probably going to happen. Doing the old stasis stomp maneuver on this guy, and pretty much, like, I don't even know how much ammo I had at this point, but
The tram was jamming the whole system.
That's one down. You said a data board was fried too?
Inventory says there's a spare board in the maintenance bay. We can't run the trams without it.
And so we're off to find that data board, baby. And we got a cool necromorph up in the vents. This guy was there in the original game, too. He would just kind of hang out up there and troll you. I don't think he ever actually comes down and does anything, but... Alright, on a quest to fix more shit. And through the door into the stasis recharge, baby. But, yeah, necromorphs are slightly more aggressive in the remake, I feel like. But there's the added benefit of you can now dodge their attacks, because unlike in Dead Space 1, they don't have quite as good of hit tracking. Like in Dead Space 1, they just had immaculate hit tracking, so there was really no sidestepping or like shake and bake maneuvers you could do to avoid getting hit. But in the remake, you can actually dodge their attacks, which is something that's kind of interesting to note. So if a necromorph does get really close to you, you can actually sort of pull a Resident Evil and kind of dodge it a lot of the time, which is very handy. Also, I always forget about this guy. I always forget that this guy's over here just playing dead. But again, just hit him with the stasis, stomp his ass out, and there you go. So for the circuit breaker here, what you want to do is route the power to the cargo hall storage first, and then we can backtrack through here. That guy just kind of goes through the vents and tries to scare us. Case in point, check this out. Oh, spooky! But yeah, if you open this door up, you can collect another power node, get some more goodies for your Dead Space wallet. And then, again, we just don't really have to worry about that necromorph. He scares us, and then he fucks off. So now we reroute the power back to Maintenance Bay, and through the door we go. I would highly recommend exploring as much as you can and just collect every power node. Chapter 1, we've got 4 power nodes, and Chapter 2, we've also got 4. So we've got a total of 8 that we can find. We can also buy some from the store, but I usually avoid doing that. It's kind of expensive. Anyway, coming into this room, you can use these explosive canisters to get some pretty easy kills on these necromorphs. 2 of them pop through the vents right there, 2 slashers. Also come over here for another medium med pack, and life is good. Yeah, this room is pretty cool because you can kind of like kite the necromorphs to these explosive canisters, and you just shoot the canister and you get a pretty easy one-hit kill. It's pretty great. And they don't even really have to be like that close to the canister either. Like the kill range on the explosion is pretty decent. So another necromorph shows up, and he's actually coming from the right side. I thought he was coming from straight ahead, so this guy actually scared the fucking shit out of me. Like, he really did. I was really anticipating him coming from ahead, but he came from the right. But yep, what I like to do in this room is I kind of do, like, a little bit of a loop-de-loop, where I grab some items, and then I do another little loop, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because I couldn't really remember where all the shit was. And I was pretty serious about just grabbing everything that I could. But there isn't really anything too crazy in here. There isn't like a power node. There's just some random like ammo and money pickups that are always pretty good. But the way you actually need to go is to the elevator, which obviously if you ever get lost in this game, it's kind of impossible to get lost in Dead Space because you've got the fucking objective waypoint thing that'll always show you which way to go, but yeah. I digress. Go into the elevator, and that I think takes you to the top level, where we have to reroute more power. Well, funny enough, I think we have to reroute the power from the light sources to make this room even darker. But also, there's some necromorphs up on this, like, top catwalk area. Or, there's one that's playing dead, and there's a couple of, like, fake ones, like some decoy corpses. So, that guy right there is the one that's not a decoy, but these other ones are fake. So, like, let's just go ahead and kill this guy. I feel like I wanted to kill him with one of the canisters, but this particular slasher is kind of quick, and I think he has the ability to sprint. And the sprinting necromorphs can actually outrun you, so it's best to just try to kill them where they're at and not kite them around. But we get another audio log right there, or not audio, fucking text log. I wonder how many times I'm gonna mix that up. Circuit breaker here, and we're gonna have to reroute the power from the lights to the maintenance office. Go ahead and do that, and now it is really goddamn dark, and get ready for an ambush. He pops out from right behind you, so if you kill this guy fast enough, you can get him with a stasis stomp before this next guy rolls up. At which point this, for whatever reason, that necromorph was like really weak. Died in a couple shots. But preferably, I would have liked to kill at least one of them with a canister, but you can't always get what you want. And now we can finally open up that office, grab that data board. Pretty sure there's some other random goodies in there that we get to pick up. Now that I'm like rewatching this footage, I'm trying to think of like what I could have missed in this chapter. I know that I didn't miss any of the power nodes, which in my opinion is the most important thing. But alright, just when you thought this room couldn't get any more stressful and spooky, we've got more necromorphs in the dark, but we're just going to be real patient. We got a nice double kill. And then, of course, there's one behind me. Ruining my fucking glory after I get a sweet double kill. He sneaks up behind me to make me look stupid. Thanks a lot, jerk. But whatever. Yeah, just use those explosive canisters to your advantage all the time. And don't get crept up on from behind like I did. But yeah, anyway, when it comes to upgrades, at least in the early game, I kind of focus between the plasma cutter and the suit. because the suit upgrades are really good because you'll get more health and you'll get a little bit more like oxygen supply for the actual space parts.
Isaac, we can't stay here much longer. Hearing a lot of movement.
Hold on. I got the data board. I'm coming back to tram control now.
Daniel, get ready to go.
All right, we got a nice text log about poker night. Pause that if you want to read it. If you don't, I don't give a shit. I didn't want to read it either, so. But yeah, we got our data board. We got another node. Also, we got this gimpy little gimpster here. For whatever reason, like, I probably should have just shot that guy, but I wanted to get creative, so I was like, hey, come gimping over this way, and I'll blow you out of fucking space. I'll blow you out of dead space, brother. Ideally, I probably should have used that canister for this guy, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20, you know? Alright. So, that's almost all of the necromorphs for this dark, sort of labyrinthian catwalk room. Except for this guy by the door who's playing dead. And I think the reason I remembered this enemy was because he scared the goddamn shit out of me during my first playthrough. Because it was just pitch black, I couldn't see, and he just gets up. I wanted to blow him up, but I couldn't find a barrel, so I just blasted him. Just started blasting like Danny DeVito. But yeah. So now we got some backtracking to do. And some ammo that I missed, so all worked out. So we've got to backtrack back to that tram control room so we can put on the data board. Get ambushed by this schmuck. Maybe that was the same necromorph who was hiding in the vents earlier. I kind of doubt it though, because I'm pretty sure that one was naked, from what I could remember. Alright, take the data board over to its designated location, and then we can sort of reactivate the tram system. And there we go. Best space engineer ever.
It's clear.
Now arriving at flight deck, tram control.
Just kind of making sure I didn't miss any loot.
We're on board. Something hit the roof, but it seems operational.
Quarantine lockdown's lifted, so you can get to the hangar. Comms are still down here, so be ready for anything.
What's the plan?
You and Johnston fix up the Kellion. We report to the bridge. Standard emergency protocol.
What? Protocol? Hammond, people are dying here.
And I'm not losing anyone else. We stick to procedure. We'll get through this.
We'll see.
Alright. I should also note that when you go into that hallway, it's really spooky and a lot of random noises happen, but it's just a jump scare tactic. There's no necromorphs, as you can see. But we're getting close to the end of the chapter. It's pretty sweet. I feel like I did decent, you know, for my first time replaying Dead Space on hard in a while, okay. Also, that necromorph over there is sort of trying to stage an ambush, but for now we're going to ignore him and go into this room right here, because there is a bunch of shit in here to pick up. A bunch of loot. A bunch of good stuff. I think there's actually another power node in here. Yep, there is, right on the wall right there. Go ahead and pick that up. I think that's the fourth and final power node for Chapter 1. And this necromorph is, yeah, this necromorph is always kind of doing something different. Sometimes he's like standing right at the door. Other times he moves to another spot in the hallway, but either way, just take him out. And then get ready for another encounter, because 2 more actually spawn in here. So you gotta deal with 2 more, but if you kill the guy up ahead quick enough, then you won't have to deal with another. So this guy pops down, and then another necromorph actually pops in from sort of further back in the hallway. But if you kill this one quick enough, you won't have to fight the other guy. I actually didn't kill this guy very fast, but I'm pretty sure I still escaped. I didn't even know the other one was back there. But yeah, I still made it out scot-free. You could hear him out. You could hear him back there, fucking growling. But by the time I got into this room, I was like, huh? Oh, did I hear something? But yeah, just be aware. You don't have to kill every necromorph, but generally I enjoy killing them. Plus, something that's kind of new to the Dead Space remake is that necromorphs can actually chase you between rooms using the air vents. So it's usually a good idea to kill them unless you know for a fact that you're not going to be going back to a certain area. Sometimes it's good to not kill them to save ammo, but I do enjoy killing them, so. Alright, time to do some more space mechanic shit.
Is that blood?
Haley, I need you to listen. The Ishimura's overrun with fucking monsters. You didn't hear anything?
What? No, the comms are still out. Isaac...
We need the Killian fixed now. Got a damage report?
Yeah, it's there.
Go!
Alright, so this is a leaper. The leaper shows up. I think 2 leapers show up. Plus we've got that like sort of slow slasher moving towards the back. So kind of take these guys out however you see fit. Generally stasis makes this a little bit easier. So I think I end up kind of killing this guy and then using stasis on the slasher. Because the stasis stomp works on these guys too. I think I just called this leaper a slasher. Yeah, that's a leaper.
Isaac, what's happening down there?
Johnson's gone. The singularity core overloaded.
No!
Killian was our only way home. We're trapped.
No! I'm not losing 2 good people for nothing.
Yeah, that floating corpse that, like, floated behind the camera like that scared the shit out of me, which is why I looked back like that.
Find Captain Matthias. Track his rig.
Okay, here. Captain Benjamin Matthias. Location medical. Status deceased?
Even the captain? God.
Isaac, you're closer to medical. You can double back and cut through maintenance. Find the captain's body and get his rig. With his codes, we... What was that? Chen?
Okay, Hammond, run!
Shit.
Did I scare you? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I kind of scared myself, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so, make a little detour through the bathroom. I think this bathroom's kind of vacant. There's like probably some money that you pick up. I can't remember what I got out of this, but... Dark bathroom. Oh, 1,200 bucks. That's actually a pretty good haul for early in the game. But, yeah, not really much goes on in there. Just back to the beaten trail. Then we go back towards the tram station. And pretty much mopping up chapter 1 here. There's really not much left to do. I think we make a little pit stop at the store, and then maybe the workbench. And then, because Dead Space 2 is a seamless experience... Did I just call this game Dead Space 2? What the fuck is wrong with me? The Dead Space remake. It is a seamless experience, so there's no loading. The chapters just bleed into each other. But, alright, coming to the store here, definitely get that level 2 suit. If you went through this chapter as meticulously as I just did, you should have just enough money to get the suit, and maybe a little bit left over. We've also got that semiconductor that we can sell as well. But yeah, I recommend trying to stay up to date on the suits as best you can. The suits are good. They give you more inventory space. They make you just more of a beefcake. You always want the suits. Also get that semiconductor out of here. Sell that shit. And I'm pretty sure that's it. It would be a good idea to buy some stasis packs if you need any, but Chapter 2, which is obviously where we're headed next, is absolutely chock full of stasis recharge stations. So I think, because I'm going through Chapter 2 right now, taking notes for the walkthrough, trying to be as meticulous as I can, and from what I've seen in Chapter 2 so far, like, I haven't even had to use any stasis packs yet. There's just so many fucking recharge stations. But anyway, for the suit, go ahead and upgrade. Obviously, upgrade whatever you want. You don't have to, like, upgrade the same stuff that I do in the same order, but I do like to upgrade the suit and the plasma cutter, so that's pretty much where we're going to be kind of divvying shit up for a little bit. Anyway, yep. Nothing really much in this hallway. Fun fact, if you double back through this hallway, a random slasher shows up. So, that's just something to prepare for, I guess. But anyway, there's the Kinesis module. That's going to be our second best friend. Not quite as much of a friend as Stasis, but that's the end of Chapter 2. And, yeah, that's it. Because this is post-commentary, this is just the way that I recorded this was I just uploaded it from my PS5 straight to YouTube, so I just have the video privated, as you can see. I'm just gonna see. Look, I'm telling you, it's just so you don't think I'm stealing footage or anything. I'm proving my innocence here. But yeah, hopefully you guys fucking enjoyed the first chapter of Dead Space. I'm gonna like my own video. Just kidding. That's pretty inane. Chapter 2, I don't know how frequently I'm going to be pumping these bad boys out, because the way that I'm doing it is I'm going through each chapter, taking a bunch of notes, and then I'm going online and looking at guides just to look at things that I missed so that I can edit my notes, and then I go back through the chapter with the completed notes, and I just try to do it efficiently, and I'm trying to do a bit of a better job than I did in Chapter 1, where I try to kind of learn each enemy encounter as opposed to just, like, where items are at and stuff. Like I said, this isn't going to be a flawless 100% playthrough by any means, but I'm going to do my best. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time for Chapter 2.